We're back.
We are. It's been a week, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yes, we
And
are
it
back.
is good to be back behind the microphones in the world headquarters of the Proper Human Diet, southeastern Wisconsin. It is JJ and Eric live coming to you here 5:30 Central every week on Fridays,
Except last week.
unless we decide not to do it.
But we had good reason last week.
And what was the reason?
So our daughter went back to college on Saturday. So Friday afternoon into the evening was family day.
And we did all kinds of stuff.
We did. It was a really nice time.
Including a lot of Mario Kart World.
Yes. I can actually play that game.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. But yeah, so Friday night around this time, we were out to eat.
Really?
Yes.
And did we have our traditional Italian restaurant outing?
Not quite. So yeah, this Italian place we go to, we've been going to since the beginning of our relationship.
Yes.
And previous to that even. So it's a big deal. The family knows us. We know them. They've watched our daughter grow through the years. It's a big tradition. She loves the food. They have really good Italian food. And so we usually go there the night before she goes off to school, whether it's a spring break or the full summer break. And we have a little, this year we switched it up a little bit. And it's because through the years, they've narrowed their menu a little bit. And I understand why. I get the business of it totally. But they've taken off things like steak.
Yeah.
And chicken cacciatore. And all you can get there, if you're a carnivore right now, is chicken breast.
Charred.
Very well cooked. So we've done that the last almost 3 years with our daughter. We go there, we choke down the dry chicken breast. And again, the rest of their food is awesome. So
watching her eat garlic bread and pasta.
Yes. So
but we didn't do that.
We didn't do that. She was in a pretty good place.
Yeah.
And so I said, would you be willing to try a different Italian restaurant? So we went to sort of an upscale one. Actually, it costs more money, but they have a much wider menu and they do have steaks and seafood and it's much wider, much better for us. So that's what we did. She was open to it. She told me though, she's like, well, I just hope you don't ruin my life. Because if the pasta's not good, my life will be ruined. She's got a little sarcastic streak.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I hope we don't too.
And I got the ribeye.
You got the ribeye.
And it was very expensive. Mm-hmm. And I could have easily cooked it better.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about restaurants that don't season steaks and then charge you extra. So I didn't love it, but it was a better choice than I would have had otherwise. So
now
that was good.
They had a filet special and mine was actually really good.
Yeah. Was it?
So I was pleased with my meal.
I made a mistake. I chose wrong.
But who knew? And I know you're probably waiting to find out whether we ruined our daughter's life. And
we kind of
did. She does not like meat sauce. And the thing she ordered was pasta with Italian sausage. And she expected slices of Italian sausage. And it was meat sauce. So she took responsibility for sort of ruining her own life. Yeah.
Well, we have viewers who showed up, JJ.
Hey,
so should we wish them a warm welcome?
Yes, we shall. A very, very warm welcome to you all. I'm JJ. I am a life coach and I eat mostly meat and some ferments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Eric. I'm a novelist and I eat mostly meat as well. Lately I've eaten a lot of sardines and we'll be talking about that in a minute.
Yes.
But let's say hello to Elizabeth, who was first in.
Hey.
And Curtis is here from, you'll never guess where.
Michigan.
Yep.
Hey, good to see you, Curtis.
And Sue.
Well, good to see Elizabeth too. Curtis, I expect to be not here all the time. So
Sue is JJ proud of you for eating those sardines.
Oh my gosh.
Your numbers are so impressive.
We'll talk more about that in just a moment, Sue. And thank you, because like I said, you're in my mind with that right now.
Deborah, welcome back. Thank you for that. Jody Leck gives us the red heart.
Hello,
I like
Jody
that.
and Deborah.
And Bumbleberry announces, hit my 6 months of carnivore this a week. I hope the applause is coming through. I'm not wearing my ears right now.
That's awesome and a big milestone.
Yeah, that is a big milestone.
Yeah, that is a big one.
We hope that you're seeing many, many positive results from all of that.
Yes.
So this morning I got up and as I do, I did my keto mojo. I did not stab myself with this pen.
Yeah, we've been keto mojoing a lot lately.
And my blood sugar this morning was 81. So a huge difference from my old 105 or whatever I was seeing.
In July.
Yeah.
That was just in July.
But my ketones were only 0.4.
Okay.
But yeah, not terrible.
That's decent.
Yeah. But you kind of blew me out of the water.
I did blow you out of the water. My blood sugar this morning was 86. And I've been in the 80s since we've adjusted our diet slightly at the end of July. So 86 is pretty normal for me for fasting blood sugar. And then my ketones, though, were really nice. They were at a 2.6 this morning. Yeah. So normally they're in the about 1.0 to 1.6 range these days. So this was a nice reading. And it was one of my desires was that I would see some more readings in the twos as I moved through this Dr. Boz process. Yeah.
So we, well, why don't we just jump into it since it's been mentioned? Elizabeth is saying it. Your sardine video was the best.
Oh my goodness.
Was it the best video ever or the best sardine video? She's talking about this one.
Yes.
72 hours of sardines as part of Dr. Boz's 21-day metabolic kick course. JJ went into it knowing that this was a thing.
Yeah.
And as this thumbnail says,
I did it. I did it. Oh my gosh. So huge deal for me. I've shared on here before, so I'll try to keep it brief. But if you're new, I have such an intense aversion to fish, and I have my entire life. And I have tried all types of fish in all different manners and can't stand it. And I've even talked to my doctor about it. And I'm like, I think my body does not like fish for some reason. I think there's an issue with fish.
But you've been able to eat tuna
on occasion
in tuna fish casserole.
Yeah. Yeah. That was it. Tuna casserole or a tuna pasta salad was it. So this was a big deal for me to do 72 hours of fish.
And I want to say that JJ is not the type of picky eater that just goes bleh for anything that she doesn't like the looks of. It really is a strong visceral reaction to fish.
Yeah.
I'm a picky eater.
Yeah.
Our daughter is a picky eater.
Yeah.
JJ is not.
No. So I amped up for the class, right? I was adding some fish to my diet because I would not let myself sign up if I couldn't eat the fish.
Well, it's a pretty pricey course.
Right.
So you can't just skip over one of the main features of it.
No. And all I had was both Dr. Boz on the shoulder, Dr. Barry on this shoulder, just saying, just be a grown-up. Like both of them pretty much tell you the same message. Just be a grown-up and do it. So yeah, so I went into it and my goal was to eat 2 tins a day because Dr. Boz does not want you fasting through it. She's very, very insistent that you get the nutrients from the sardines. And this is what she taught, which just was like, I get it now. When someone is metabolically unhealthy and they move into a water fast, their mitochondria go into survival mode and slow way down. And that's why people can feel like really poorly on a water fast. But the mitochondria don't die. They go into conservation mode and we want autophagy or mitophagy. And so the sardines feed us enough and feed us the right substrate to promote the production of new mitochondria that are more keto adapted than the old ones. So really important to keep eating the sardines through the challenge. So my goal was 2 per day. I did hit that goal. I had 2 per day, 2 tins per day. And boy, it was hard. That second tin every day.
Should we see it
was
real
hard.
quick here? A freeze frame from the last tin of the whole thing.
Yeah, this is the last day.
The last day, the last tin that morning. She took a bite, and this is what happened.
Yeah.
It was not a good. I was a little concerned because we were filming. And I was like, I don't know if we're gonna finish this.
Yeah, that was a legitimate gag reflex. I was not joking. It was not a put on. It is what happened. But then I made myself take a few extra bites because I did not want that final sardine taste to be the gag, right? Because it's like getting back on the horse. I didn't want that to be the final memory. So I did eat a few more bites of that. And I didn't need to eat that whole tin. The whole point is just to close the sardine fast with some sardines. So I did it. And it's also very interesting though. I'm not going to go into details here because like Elizabeth said, you should just watch the video if you haven't. I did have some reactions to the sardine challenge. It was not an allergic reaction. I'm not allergic to sardines, but I did have some issues physically with the sardines. And what happened after that last few bites of sardines was a little later that afternoon. I started to feel kind of yucky, just fatigued, extremely fatigued. And so that fatigue, and I wasn't totally achy, but I just did not feel well for about 30 hours after the challenge. So I wasn't expecting that. And I had some issues during the challenge as well. So if I do a sardine challenge again, what I need to do is make sure to schedule myself off of work and things for that following 36 hours or so. And I consulted with AI about it, and it said AI agreed that it will take me about 36 hours to recover. Should I do it again? Yeah.
She had itchy feet. A very unusual sardine symptom.
The itchy feet were so funny because you know how if you scratch a mosquito bite or something, it just kind of keeps the itch going. It reactivates the itch. So when I would walk, it would reactivate the itch. Just walking.
But you're an experienced water faster.
I am.
Up to 45 hours or so. And when JJ water fasts, she gets into pretty good ketosis and she gets her fasting bliss.
I do.
But the ketones you hit on sardines was a different level.
It was. So like my reading today, my blood sugar reading of 86 blood sugar, 2.6 ketones, that would be what I used to get for the 45-hour water fast. But the sardine fast, I have to read it. My blood sugar in the morning was 49. 49.
That's low.
Very low. And my ketones were, I feel like I need a drum roll. 6.7. 6.7.
So I'm going to just bring that up here.
Yes.
Like this.
Blood sugar. So I had never seen that before.
But
anything even close.
Did you feel icky?
I didn't feel icky other than the normal reactions I was having from the sardines. But I didn't feel foggy or fatigue. I didn't feel fatigued at all during the entire thing. I felt decent. I was not in bliss though. You stated that I was a little.
You were irritable because you were having these weird reactions to the sardines.
Yeah.
And you had to eat sardines and nothing else.
Yes.
And all of the mustard you wanted to put on it really couldn't save it.
Not quite. Because I've tried fish in all different ways and it wouldn't save it. But I did it. And my coach in the Dr. Boz course, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a moment, She said that she didn't expect everyone to finish the challenge liking sardines, but she hoped that everyone would value sardines. And I do have a great appreciation for them, because what I experienced was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you did the sardine challenge alongside of me,
That's right.
and it looked a little bit different. So, Dr. Boz recommends eating sardines in oil.
I don't like olive oil,
Mhm,
and so I don't get them like that.
mhm.
So I didn't do that. Therefore, the fat content was lower, and therefore my ketones just never came around
No,
until like the last day I did add fat after my sardines and phoom, blood sugar dropped and ketones went
started
up.
to
Yeah.
raise.
It was
Yeah,
odd. It was instant.
yeah. But it's very interesting. The high ketone readings in the class don't tend to happen until about 48 hours in,
Oh, okay.
is when you really see it. So, this whole idea of doing 72 hours is really important.
I know that it triggers people to hear sardine and fast pushed together as
Mhm,
a phrase, because obviously it's not a fast in any traditional sense of not eating, but a sardine mono diet, I guess you could call it,
mhm.
doesn't have the same ring to it. But I was skeptical, and I'd even done 24 hours of sardines
You did.
in the past just as an experiment to see if I could do it. But I was skeptical that it would deliver better results than just water fasting, and it very clearly did for you,
Mhm.
and it would have for me if I'd had enough fat with them. And I don't I'm not part of the class, so I
No.
can't see inside to the numbers people are posting, but, it looks like everybody's having pretty strong results
Yeah,
from
it
it.
was remarkable because we are all at different points in our journeys, and so it was remarkable, but everyone saw some really, really good results. Now for you, though, when you've water fasted in the past,
Yeah.
you felt yucky.
Horrible.
Yeah,
I've never hit the water fast point of sudden energy and mental clarity. It only gets worse progressively, and I've done up to a 5-day fast.
yeah.
And, having watched Boz's morning content over her shoulder, it's pretty clear that my mitochondria aren't that happy with ketones.
Mm-mm.
So, kind
No,
of interesting,
no.
which
But
which is one of the reasons why I titled this live "Carnivore or Keto,"
which
and that carnivore is not always keto.
yeah, which I will go into as you are, but I wanted to mention you did not feel yucky on the sardine fast
No, I felt
because
fine.
someone might wonder that. Yeah.
I got tired of eating them, but I felt
Yeah,
fine.
who didn't? So yeah, carnivore or keto?
Well, carnivore can be keto, but it is not necessarily keto,
No. Mm-mm.
which I kind of knew going in because we'd already been down this path recently
Yeah.
of seeing our blood sugars go up and our ketones not being great. So, yeah, it was pretty clear that no carb does not mean keto
Mm-mm.
in certain contexts.
Now, watching over my shoulder, do you think ketosis is necessary for the carnivores, or are they fine not being in ketosis? Some carnivores.
I I don't know. I think it depends on the aim.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh of I'm what I where I'm landing right now
Hmm.
is that in the long run, after you've achieved whatever healing and weight loss and body recomp you want, the the sweet spot is probably dipping into ketosis every night
Hmm.
while you're sleeping and then coming out, and maybe you stay in some amount of ketosis but maybe not, but then you stop eating and you have a long enough fasting window that you dip back down into it and you get this beautiful rolling pulse that goes along with the circadian cycle.
Hmm.
That's how I kind of feel is the sweet spot.
Yeah, I think that some carnivores naturally, well, physiologically just fall into keto when they're on carnivore, and other carnivores don't. but but others naturally their rhythm of eating brings them to that. I think of Dr. Kiltz, and recently I just learned he eats most days about a pound of meat, and he's not a big guy, So he's like, yeah, I usually eat a pound of meat, period. One meal. And so 1 pound of meat, one meal is going to probably put that man in ketosis
And
because it's not too much.
I'm sure he sources very, very fatty steaks.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I think he is probably in ketosis. And again, it's not that he's checking ketones
Yeah.
or macros or anything like that. So I think a lot of them just do fall into that sort of natural rhythm that promotes kind of what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I think that OMAD pattern gives you such a long fast that I could see how that would work.
And
if you could stay not hungry during that.
Yeah, and I think other people are very high fat carnivore, and well, I know they are, and that also supports ketosis for some of them
Yeah.
too. So it's really weird because ketosis the keto diet to me feels very complicated because in the past we were always approaching it with counting macros
Yeah.
and how am I going to replace this dish with a keto dish? And so I just love the simplicity of being really, really meat based. And I love the simplicity of carnivore. And I'm so very fortunate, feel so very fortunate that you sort of stumbled upon what is working for us now. And guess what? Boz actually teaches it in the course, but we didn't know that then. You figured it out.
Well, I figured it out based on some things she said and some things other people said, and then my own experiments. So
yeah. So I do feel like we're in a really pretty easy rhythm to at least be having that role you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I like to fast. So I'm looking forward to a water fast coming up starting tomorrow, I think it'll be. And
I
see
am
how
not
that
doing
goes.
that one.
No, he's not. And I don't think he should because your mitochondria are not prepared for it.
Will I do a sardine fast again? I don't know. Maybe. It depends on what I think I need. Let's see. Hi, Michelle. It's good to see
Michelle.
you. Amy says, I love the insight into sardine fast. Yes, I agree with Elizabeth. And Scotter says, ketones at 6.7. Whoa.
Wow.
If you were diabetic, that would be cause for great alarm.
Yes. Yes.
But you lived through it fine.
I did. I lived to tell. And my itchy feet are gone.
If you haven't, please consider giving the live stream a thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed, maybe that's a good button to hit too. Just saying.
Yeah. So I have one more week of class left. It is a 3-week class.
Should I bring this up here?
Sure. Yeah. And when you go into it, you know there are going to be sardines. There's a water fast also. And the goal is 72 hours. And Dr. Boz personally looks at everybody's medical history that we supply. And she said that everyone in the class is cleared to do at least 36 hours. And then if you're one of those people who she says, 36 is a better spot for you, you're supposed to eat sardines for the rest of it. So I'm going for 72 and no sardines, but there's no reason I shouldn't be able to do the 72 hours. So I'm looking forward to it.
We had a question on one of our, I think maybe on the sardine video, which was, from the outside, if you've watched our channel for a while, it looks like we're doing pretty well. We're down to goal weight. We're having all this healing. The question was, JJ, why would you go into Boz's class? Why did you need to do it?
So number one, I'm sort of.
This is not an ad.
No.
We're not selling you the course. We aren't an affiliate. I don't even know if she has that.
I don't know.
And we won't ever be, even if she does.
No, we're just, I'm telling you my experiences. But number one was that I want more knowledge. I really am into this. And so I want to learn more and more about it. Number two, we all go through different seasons in life. So as we've seen in our nearly 3 years of carnivore, different challenges come up and things shift in your chemistry and so forth. So I wanted more tools and a better understanding for whatever comes ahead, right? Because I don't expect, it would be great if this way we're eating now is like, we're set, but it's probably not going to happen that way.
That's just not how life works.
Life is not
Yeah.
static. Yeah. So I did want to get more knowledge, just because I like the knowledge, but also for that practical reason of getting the more skills and tools in my toolbox.
And I was glad when you decided to sign up because I'd been curious to see what's inside the program. I just wanted to understand how it worked, how she approached it, and the structure of it. In case you are interested in it, the way that it's structured is that there are some pre-recorded videos that you get at certain points to watch that are sort of needed framework. But then every morning at 7:30 Central,
Mhm.
she goes live
Mhm.
and does a lecture, or at this point is bringing on participants to talk about their specific case because it's illustrative of a particular problem that many people might face.
Mhm.
And that's been quite interesting. There was a guy this week who had done a water fast up to 21 days and never got his blood sugar below 100.
Yeah.
And sardines, and then he did.
Mm.
So I mean, it's really incredible. And then I'm not part of the small group, but then you're placed into what, groups of 6
About
or
10.
10
Yeah.
with a Dr. Boz coach.
Yep.
And then you meet after that live in the morning
Mhm.
for what, an hour?
Yep. So it's about a 2-hour commitment per day.
And so that's like
Plus.
looking at everybody's numbers and updating on specific issues.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I am not this is so funny because I am a life coach and we do a lot of group work in the coaching sphere. And so I see the benefit of group work. I get the benefit of group work, yada, yada, yada. But when I see group work, I'm not usually excited. My natural response is like, oh, geez, not groups. Okay. And that's always been, I was the straight A student who was pulling my group along when I was in school. So it comes from that. And I have to say, Dr. Boz is a big proponent of groups and she believes in support groups highly and runs hers live every week in Tampa Bay. So this group setup, like I didn't have the most enthusiasm for, but I am sold. Being able to hear everybody's experiences, to see their numbers and for us to talk about what we were doing that day and what might have caused something, to hear other people who are dialed in on blood sugar and ketones and still might be having another issue that hasn't been addressed and they've been doing it for 7 years. Like it's just useful to have a bigger perspective and all these different perspectives. And I have to say, my group, we do have some newbies, but most of us are highly committed and, well, all of us are highly committed, but there are a lot of experienced people in my group. And so it really is becoming this treasure trove of experience and being able to pass tips off to each other. And it's really great. And our coach is all about mindset. She has beaten the odds. She has some genetic lung condition that is like emphysema or something, but it's genetic. And so she was supposed to die 30 years ago, and she is still alive and doing dang well. So she's all about mindset because I'm sure that's what's pulled her through the past 30 years.
I can only imagine.
In addition to keto. So she's wonderful too. So yeah, it's just been a really, really awesome experience. I'm very, very glad that I took it. Yeah, I'm extremely happy to be in it.
Great.
Mhm.
Let's see here. Curtis has liked and subscribed, so he gets a gold star.
You do. Gold star for you.
Sue says, I finally achieved ketone clarity, and it's amazing.
Hey!
I thank the Sardine Challenge for helping me achieve that. I have been pretty insulin resistant.
That is a huge win. And I hope now Eric will have that in his brain. I've got you in my brain for sardines, and I hope you can see she got keto clarity.
It's possible to happen.
It can still happen. It can still happen.
I can only relate it to caffeine clarity, which is an illusion. Curtis says that 7:30 a.m. is 8:30 a.m. correct time.
Michigan screws me up so badly whenever I have clients in Michigan or something, because I think you're right there. You should be in my time zone.
Llama Boy is asking if we heard of the raw primal diet. I have not heard of that phrase, but I can imagine that it's raw meat and maybe veggies. I don't know what it is.
I'm not there.
I
Not
saw, I don't know where I saw Bella eating a piece of raw steak
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
taking a bite of butter. And I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling it.
I'm not there, but you've gone a lot more rare on your steaks
I
more
have,
recently.
and that is kind of interesting. And I don't know if I went more rare with my steaks because I just get impatient with the cooking, or if I'm just starting to like it better. I think I'm starting to like it better.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
who made your breakfast?
Yes, he made my breakfast this morning. It was really nice with this Dr. Boz thing. You let me. There's a little bit of a fight for the kitchen. Because we're in the morning. Usually we're not on the exact same schedule. But today you let me watch my Dr. Boz and you listened to it in the other room in the kitchen. And yeah, you offered to make my steak. I was so craving a steak. It's the first steak I've had outside of the challenge. And yeah, you made it for me. It was good. It was very good. I've seen your steaks, so I knew they were good. So I felt confident that you could.
Once you've made enough of them, it's hard to go too wrong.
Yeah.
All right. So you wanted to talk about this.
Yes. So I haven't been doing a lot of watching of YouTube this week because I've been steeped in these classes. And however, I think she shared this in this. I don't think I'm giving anything away. Anita is in Dr. Boz's class. And right before the class started, her sister was killed in a head-on collision. And it was her last surviving relative from her birth family. And so she's got to deal with all of the arrangements and everything. And she was close to this sister. Like, I think they're almost like those Irish twins or whatever. They're very close in age. So she really had to decide whether she wanted to take the class or not. And she decided to do it. She decided that the class would help her be more accountable and just keep her centered in her ultimate goal of continuing to maintain and even improve her health. So I have to say, she has been fully engaged in the class. She is in my small group. And yeah, she's there almost every day and she's doing it. She did not, I think she said for a little bit, she was not counting her macros and putting them in food and chronometer. But other than that, she has been doing it and present. And it's just really inspiring to see someone maintain that commitment to themselves as they move through this grief.
Yeah. And that kind of a role in life is, it's just designed to put you off your eating plan.
Yeah.
And go to every comfort thing that you can find. But there's a huge wisdom in this to say, if I go down that path, it doesn't serve me. Huge respect for following through on that.
And she has gone down that path before. I think she said with one of her family members' deaths, she gained back 40 pounds or something. And so, yeah, it doesn't serve her. So she's actually very grateful for the timing. But yeah, incredible and lots of respect to Anita. So she talks all about that in that video. It's a good video.
And then I didn't see this one.
Yeah, I also watched this video. We met Chris Cooking Nashville at Chris Delisle at Meatstock.
Yep.
Yeah, really nice guy. Met Ash too. And so this caught my eye and I'm like, oh, I've got to watch this one. And so in this video, he talks about how he has been officially diagnosed with autism and some other mental health issues and things. And it was really an interesting video because he talked about all his experiences and what it's like to cope with that and what he feels it's done to his body and his inability to really, move forward with the diet. But he says, everyone accuses him of falling off carnivore and he's like, I can't. It's like, I cannot fall off carnivore. I cannot do that to myself. But these are the things I've been struggling with. So it's really good. And I really love that he got the official diagnosis and went through everything because his wife brought the idea home.
Okay.
She'd been talking to someone and she's like, I think. And so he did all the online assessments and stuff and pretty much came to the same conclusion himself. But he wants to be the voice of this. And so it was really, really important for him to actually have the diagnosis so that he could speak from that authority and help other people who have the same diagnoses. But he says it makes so much sense, looking back now, and even his mad scientist ways, how he can just sort of hyper focus in that kitchen arena or in the music arena. And that's that's part of his genius, So yeah, it was a really good video, I thought. He's very articulate and it was just great. Yeah.
Something that we had to get caught up on was a whole mess of Darth Carnivore videos.
Yes.
I don't see Charlie here in the chat today, but he's been putting out videos pretty consistently and they're great. And I really want to highlight this fitness after 40. This one is in the bottom row here. Carnivore fueled fitness after 40. Watch his he actually has video of one of the circuits that he does with kettlebells, and it's the fourth of 6 that he's going to do. And I watched that and I was like, I used to do those kettlebell workouts. And I was really, really, really amazed and impressed with what he was able to accomplish. His video on testosterone after 2 years is kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Great video. The carnivore scurvy one is pretty good and kind of humorous. And then he gets into carnivore and cholesterol and shows a bunch of his labs and stuff and where he's at and why he's not concerned. Great content. Friend of the channel, and we highly recommend you subscribe and binge all of his videos.
And I love his meal videos as well. There's not necessarily a lot of variety in them, as there aren't for many carnivores, but he's very focused on high fat as well. And so you can see how he does it, and he is able to do
It's
an
a
OMAD.
system.
It is an absolute system. And yeah, he's got it dialed in.
A lot of pre-cooking stuff too.
Yeah.
And you get to see his dog is also carnivore. So you get to see what Maya gets to eat.
But watching the workout videos doesn't appeal to me as much, I think, as a woman, because I didn't ever do kettlebells and stuff. But I just sit there and look at him and I'm like, he was over 400 pounds. And look at what type of life he is living now.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Cindy says, I always used to eat steak well done, but as a carnivore, I eat them quite rare. Yeah. It's funny how that works.
Yep.
Also asking, how are your morning numbers now, Eric? Mine have gone down, but still never under 100. Yeah. At the top of the show, we gave an update. My blood sugar this morning was 81 and my ketones were 0.4. So it's just a matter of staying with it.
Now, for me, I told you I had about 30 hours after the sardine fast where I was not feeling great. So you looked at me and said, do you want to just go out to eat?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, let's just go out to eat. And I had burger patties. I didn't go off the rails or anything, but it was late in the day. And it was a much larger dose of protein that I was eating at dinner and not a lot of fat. The next morning, after being really good with the sardine fast, my blood sugar was 104 the next morning, and my ketones they were still above 0.5, I think, but they were not, they were like 0.6 or something. So just that high for me, eating too much protein too late in the day. And again, this was like 5, it wasn't that late. Without that extra fat, it does not work for my body. But I can do it every now and then. I mean, I'm not scared of it. It was fine. The next day I did my normal routine and my numbers were better again. So, yeah.
Uh, what one of the videos that I watched many times was this one because I've edited it.
Mhm.
But if I hadn't watched it, no one would have seen it.
Wah, wah.
So apologies for this boring thumbnail and this boring topic, but more amino acid videos are likely to be coming. I will try to frame them in a more enticing, interesting way.
I liked the little trip character though.
Yeah, yeah. But I've been really like the more I learn about amino acids and the different functions that the different ones have, the more miraculous and incredible life is to me.
Mhm,
It's just amazing how it works and that it works.
mhm.
But I mean, I call these shallow dives because obviously I'm not going to go down to showing you the chemical symbols of this stuff. But like tryptophan was interesting to me because of the turkey thing that we always heard, like you eat turkey and it makes you sleepy because of the tryptophan, because tryptophan eventually leads to melatonin going up. And I talk about that in the video a little bit, but then I made a connection later on. It might have even just been yesterday because I was thinking about if if you're eating a high protein diet and protein isn't stimulating much insulin, then the insulin's needed for uptake of protein into the muscle tissue or into any tissue. And if it doesn't readily get uptake, then it remains in circulation. So the little detail about tryptophan that I learned was it's one of 3 or 4 amino acids that actually cross the blood-brain barrier. And there's a transporter that takes these across, but there isn't a specific tryptophan transporter. It's just a generic transporter that takes leucine, isoleucine, tryptophan, and maybe one other one across. But because tryptophan is the rarest of the amino acids, it has to compete for that transporter. And so if there's a high volume of other, like especially leucine and other ones that are just hitting that transporter and being taken across in its stead, then the building blocks of serotonin and melatonin may be lower, even in a high protein diet that would seem to have plenty of tryptophan.
Mm.
And it was now, and this is all speculative territory, but it's some of those dots you can't connect unless you know the story.
Mhm,
And I find it absolutely fascinating.
mhm.
And so I'm going to assault you guys with more of these boring videos.
Well, I think there comes a point for many of us who eat mostly meat where we get these results and it's like, but why? But why does it improve so much? Why does it help us be healthier and more vital and have more brain power? What better muscle definition? Why? And so this dive is really a lot of whys that I can't regurgitate at this point. I shouldn't probably say regurgitate after my last video. Um,
Let's bring it up.
oh no.
Uh,
That I don't retain, but when you're talking about them, I'm like, oh wow, like you said, it's so miraculous. And it explains why the way we eat is so powerful in promoting health. And we've been told it isn't for so many decades.
well, and then
Mm.
the whole thing with tryptophan being involved in the production of NAD, which
Mhm.
is used in energy production, and as sort of a backup system to niacin. I was just like, it is incredible.
Yeah.
Our bodies are amazing miracles, and we should be more appreciative of them. Curtis is eating burger, 80-20 burger pretty much all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hadn't had a steak since my sardine fast, but yesterday I did have some burger patties for sure.
Melanie watched the tryptophan video, so she gets applause and a gold star.
Sue, she's been watching Charlie's videos.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
So that's good.
Yep.
Supporting Charlie. Steak Man's here.
Hey.
16 ounce of yellowfin tuna and 6 duck eggs and 8 ounces of hamburger and a little ribeye jerky while traveling today. Feel great and satisfied. You ought to. Although I don't think you'd get the yellowfin tuna on JJ's plate anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. But maybe after the sardines, I was like, maybe after 72 hours of sardines, a little fish wouldn't be that bad. I don't know.
Smoked beef brisket today. That sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Melanie says, I'll watch more of the amino acid videos. Well, that's all I need is one person in my audience. Like JJ, the info in those videos isn't all sticking, but it is good info and exposure to it.
Yep. And that is one of the reasons I'm doing the Boz video, not to learn about, or the Boz course, not to learn about amino acids, but to get stuff sticking a little bit more. Yeah.
Now, I'd watched hardly any carnivore content aside from the Boz keto stuff this week because I'm still trying to not overdose on health related content. So I'm not listening to the doctors. I'm not taking that in. I'm trying to get my mind filled with other topics for a change to keep things fresh.
Yes.
Unless I'm doing a shallow dive on amino acids.
Unless. Yeah. And we had both not been measuring anything for a while too, until the class. Yeah.
So this is the part of the show where we start talking about something else. And one of the things I like to update you on is what interesting thing to me that we've been watching. And I stumbled upon through YouTube one episode of this, what is it, a Sky TV in the UK show called Portrait Artist of the Year. And then I found out you can stream it on Amazon Prime Video, and we're like on season 3 now.
I think so, yeah.
So if you find yourself needing very, very zero conflict
chill
reality TV where they don't fight, this is the show for you. If you're interested in watching people who have a craft and a skill and you like watching it develop over time, like painting portraits, this is for you. If you've ever seen Ink Master, this is Ink Master, but with portraiture and no tattoos in sight.
And no swearing.
Yeah, none. And no flash challenges, no mini challenges. It's a very calm. It reminds me a little bit of that really boring baking show that you watch.
It is a lot like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but you did.
What is that called?
The Great British Bake Off.
Oh.
I don't understand why you wouldn't like that.
Well, I don't get to eat any of it ever.
Well, that's true now, but even in the past.
For some reason, I mean, don't they have to make a showstopper?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, that's just inedible. But this is, I guess, get kind of the same energy.
Yeah,
so
it does. It's
I
nice.
highly recommend it. It's great.
But what's
great,
interesting
calm entertainment
is I'm watching these artists and
we're experts now on portraiture.
Yeah.
Because we watched this show.
Yeah. That's how it works. We're also experts in tattoos.
Yep.
And what else?
Fashion design, home remodeling.
Yes. Absolute experts. So
ironwork, blowing glass.
Yes. All of those things. But the truth is that my life coaching business for some years was really aimed at creatives. I I was like, oh, I think I'll do I'd done all types of niches, and then I landed on creatives because that's who kept coming to me,
Mhm.
were people who were creative in some way. And then for some reason, once I started marketing toward creatives, I got these types of visual artists. And I was like, I am not an artist. Like, I don't know why you're all coming to me, but whatever. So it's really fascinating for me to watch too, because I've worked with a lot of visual artists, and how it almost ties into the health topic a little bit
Mhm.
is that line of work is really hard on their bodies.
Mm.
So you see them standing or sitting, they're in one spot, but they're holding poses to paint and stuff for hours and hours on end. Or if they're doing print work or stitching or whatever it might be, there's a lot of actual wear and tear on the body. And then there's also that part of a creative, which the thing that tends to make them creative, being problem solvers and being able to see the world in a different way, can also lead to a lot of mental health issues, or
Mm.
they sort of go hand in hand with a lot of anxiety or depression, as we've known throughout the eras as well. So it's very interesting for me to also see the show and think about carnivore, honestly. But what can they do to really take care of their mental health and their physical health?
They all need to be carnivore or keto.
Yeah, it is. And that is an actual big issue for them. Like I said, I've worked with them. Now I've scaled my business but way back last few years, because I've been working on other things and I don't work with private clients as much. And who knows, I might go into the more keto carnivore. I don't want
I
to
don't know
say
what
it out
this is.
loud.
This is choreography we're doing here.
But I don't know where my next step will be when it comes to coaching. We'll see. Maybe it'll be more in this type of space.
What I find fascinating is the completely different approaches
Yeah.
that because there's like 4 of them, 5 of them, and they're all drawing the same person who's
Mhm.
sitting there. And they work some in oils, some in acrylic, some in pencil, somebody was stitching fabric.
Mhm.
Um, but the way that they develop the picture, some start with a drawing, a sketch in pencil, and then paint over it, and others just get their paintbrush out and start putting marks on the canvas. I'm like, how do you? Whoa, 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 whoa! That sounds like a high commitment. And then it just emerges
Yeah.
over time, and they get the likeness, and then they lose the likeness, and they get the likeness. It's a very iterative approach, very much like how I write fiction.
Mhm.
In some regards, I consider my writing a sculpture in my approach. Is that I do a initial pass, and then I do another pass, and I add a little bit here and take a little bit off here until it sculpts it into the experience that I like. And that's kind of how they do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It is
So
fascinating.
I recommend it. I recommend low conflict entertainment. Ebony is saying that show isn't boring, and I think she's referring to the British Bake Off.
Well, either one. It's that or the one you keep saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
No.
I'm not a cooking show guy. So
Well, what's interesting to me too is that I haven't watched it since we moved because I can't get into our accounts anymore.
yeah,
And you like it that way. But even when I was carnivore, I enjoy watching cooking shows and baking shows, even though they really don't apply to me at all right now. I don't know why.
well, I suppose it's just there's a process.
Yeah.
You get to see the assignment, how they approach it, whether they succeed or fail.
Yeah. But it doesn't trigger me at all.
No,
Yeah. I don't know.
yeah.
Mm. So yeah.
If you haven't liked this, I'm guessing you probably just don't like it. Enchanted is here. I've been watched Portraits Artist of the Year for the past few years. I am an artist,
Mhm.
so I get tunnel vision between carnivore art and gardening, depending on where my focus is in life. And I noticed that there's also a landscape artist of the year
Oh,
show
really?
that they've got, but we're nowhere near ready to watch that because we've got several seasons of this to go.
Yeah.
But I you guys don't know this,
Mhm.
but my first YouTube channel
Yes.
was a channel about me learning to draw. And I only did a handful of videos because I got approached by
Paper-like?
Paperlike, who does a screen protector for iPads that is like paper for drawing. And they said, "Hey, come do videos for our channel." And I did a handful of videos for them. But what happened was that was so much work
Yeah.
that I stopped doing my learning to draw, and I lost all of my momentum, and I just I just failed. And I also quit learning to draw, and I was really devoted to it. I was studying it very hard. I was practicing a lot, and I made progress, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
But I was never anywhere close to being um amateurish. I was somewhere in the advanced novice um with a low natural talent is what I would say.
It was a heavy lift, though, to try to both learn to draw and record it
Yeah.
and then do the video process of it. And then there was an interview and there were other things that were
Yeah.
going on. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that was interesting experience.
Hmm. Yeah.
And the people from Paperlike were great. And their product is
And the
cool.
product
Yeah.
is great. I don't have it on my iPad, but I like probably once a week, I'm like, I need to get a Paper-like because it also keeps the fingerprints off the screen,
Yeah, that's true.
which I like.
Now, something that Enchanted said, um, between art and carnivore art and gardening. Now, I was very into gardening for 1 week one time when I read a book about it. And then I kind of got vaguely into this idea of I should enjoy gardening. And we had a garden,
Yes.
and we had
Oh, yeah.
lettuce and carrots, and we grew pumpkins unsuccessfully.
Mhm.
And you grew a whole bunch of
Tomatoes and cucumbers.
cucumbers. And I don't like tomatoes. I don't like cucumbers. The carrots were okay. The lettuce
The
was
carrot
nice.
the carrots were delicious.
They were tiny.
But they were very small, but so sweet. They
And
were
our
really good.
pumpkins got the blight.
Yeah, the pumpkins
Um,
kept getting the blight.
So, and then we turned carnivore, and I was like, there's no point in having a garden now. We're
Yeah.
not going to eat any of that.
When we first were wanting to buy this property, I was trying to envision, okay, there are a lot of deer. I was trying to envision a fenced in garden and everything.
Mhm.
And then it was like, yeah, no, we don't have to do that.
Oh, the deer were just, they thought our garden was the best.
Yes, they did.
But you've gone crazy with the flower beds and stuff this year,
I did.
and flower pots and stuff. And that's been really nice to see. But that kind of fussy potting soil and flower buying and digging, not my thing. I like looking at it when it's done. Aggie is here.
Hey.
Good to see.
Mhm. Yeah, I just felt like I felt like our place needed it, even though we don't live near a road. Like no one sees our house.
Just us.
Just us, but
And the
it's
dog.
really pleasant. Yeah, I like
It's wonderful to see it.
it. I like it. And now it's fall, so it is time to get some
I
fall
came
stuff.
home from Aldi today, and I got to enjoy the nice flowers that you had out,
Mhm.
buying the 4 New York strips that they had.
That reminds me. I've mentioned before, my good friend, I see her every week. Her boys work at a farm, a local cattle farm. And so we were talking yesterday about it, and she was just talking about how, now I don't know if her numbers are accurate, right? They might be, but she said that farmer used to be able to get his calf for about $100, and now it's $1,000.
Oh,
So
wow.
anyway, the big point was that the cost of things for the cattle farmer have gone up so much that his business is doing great, but there's such a low profit margin right now, and so it's really, really been getting to be tough. getting to be very tough. So, yeah, which was a bummer to hear. That's a great way to.
Yeah, I saw a news story, and I hate to try to bring this up from memory because I'm going to get the details wrong, but the you can't to if there was a processing plant in the state, you can get, because Amanda Radke said this stuff. You can sell it in the state that it's
Yes.
processed in, but you cannot go across state lines unless it's a federally approved processing plant,
Mhm,
I guess. And there are few of those.
mhm,
So there is a bit of a challenge with that.
mhm. Yeah, that is part of it as well. Although he has foods in some local restaurants and stuff too, which is nice.
Yeah,
Like I said, his
nice.
the business side is good as far as that goes, but the profit margin's just very low right now. So, yeah. And we've said it's very good beef and it's very expensive because it needs to be. And so we support him where we can, but we can't eat his food all the time. Like that would be really, really big bite into the budget. Big. So we do a little Aldi and we do a little of
Yeah.
his.
Curtis says one of the homesteading channels he watches wanted to get cows, but ended up with sheep because the cost of cows.
Mhm.
And that's a interesting trade-off because the sheep, you end up with wool. I don't know how marketable the wool is.
I don't know.
And you could get some dairy out of the sheep, I suppose.
I don't know. I get. Oh
Because
yeah,
there's sheep's
yeah.
butter and
Up at the
sheep's
mushroom
yogurt. Yeah,
farm, there's
I don't
sheep's
know that it's a
yogurt.
big business. And then the sheep itself, I mean lamb, which we're not fans of. It may shock you to know that we think it tastes like, I don't know if it's playing or not.
I don't think I hear
There it is. Hoof juice. And we were toying with trying to convince our daughter to, when she gets out of college, to take care of goats on our property. Not because I want to eat the goats, and I definitely don't want to ever do any of the animal husbandry tasks, but I do want to put them out in the woods to eat down all of the invasive honeysuckle and buckthorn.
Mhm.
It's hair sheep.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that what Dr.
Berry.
Barry's got? Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I bet. Well, we had lamb.
Who was that? Who is that YouTuber woman with the really, really great video that said, "Please do not get a goat"?
I can't remember the name. Yeah, but it was.
And then
really
she had another one, "Don't get a donkey."
Yeah.
But her videos were excellent.
Yeah.
They were very funny.
They were very good. But I bet for me, lamb at this stage would be better than sardines. Maybe that's what I need to do is a lamb fast.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think there's enough fat though either. And definitely not the omega-3s.
But we
found
did
in
talk
sardines.
about a fat fast.
Yes.
Just eat just butter for
Yeah.
a few days. I don't know if I could handle that.
I actually want to pick Anita's brain because I know she's done both. So I am curious to ask her about that.
All right. I think it's time for us to wrap up. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you coming back for this visit.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah.
Eric's mouth is done.
Yep, I'm all talked out.
Yes.
We'll be back next Monday or Tuesday with a pre-recorded video on some topic, possibly an amino acid. I'll try to make it interesting this time. And then next Friday, we'll be back here at 5:30 Central or 6:30 correct time.
Yes. So with that, every day stronger.
Every day more blessed.
JJ and Eric, their lipids are high. Their doctors are worried they're both gonna die. Is LDL harmless? They sure hope it's so. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. Salad is toxic, seed oils are doom. They rub on tallow like greasy perfume. Ribeyes and bacon, that's all they know. It's the JJ and Eric Carnivore Show. No wheat, no kale, they're laughing at greens. 18-hour fasts are their favorite routines. Sugars for suckers, they're chomping on fat. Streaming to you live from the televat. Eric's got muscles, JJ's got zen. They're coming to chat with their carnivore friends. So toss out the lettuce, embrace the beef glow. It's the JJ and Eric